All right, guys, welcome back to another one. As you can see, I'm in one of my favorite places, and I got a pair of beautiful cars here today. And if you guys have been following me, kind of listening to me in and out of a lot of the meets and everything else, I have had nothing but good stuff to say about the new GR86, BRZ, whatever we're going to call them, depending on you know, how they're badged up. So we've got a pair. We've got a his and her pair, I guess is a better way of putting it today. And we're gonna go through them. We're gonna talk about each one a little bit. And you know what? Before I bring the owner in, I'm just gonna get it started in the comments right off the bat. And I'm gonna put it out there that both the first gen and second gen of the new style is just a continuation of the classic 8.6 Hachiroku. And I know we're gonna hear a lot about this in the comments and everything else, but it's really how I feel. And if you guys disagree, drop it in the comments. If you guys agree, drop it in the comments. Let's talk about it. But just to touch quickly on it, we have a lightweight front engine rear wheel drive car, okay? Toyota Heritage, I understand we got Subaru engine and everything else, but it still holds true to what the old school Hachiroku was, you know, in being a lightweight, fun car that actually was affordable and easy to get into, and it would do a lot of things really well. So, as I said, and I'm sure we're already flowing comments, I really do feel as though both the introduction of the first gen and now the second gen 8.6, BRZ, FRS, 8.6, GR86, all of that stuff. I really do feel like it's been an excellent continuation of what the actual old school heritage was and what the old school name was. I feel like some of the manufacturers lately have been throwing names on cars, and it doesn't really feel like they're just trying to get the name to go by and trying to pull off of that name. But I really feel like Toyota did just an awesome job with this car, and in general I think Toyota's killing it. Toyota's new GR line and everything else that they've been doing, from like the JDM Yaris up through the GT4 Corolla, through both the GR 8.6 and up through the Supra. I mean, you have Toyota coming to the enthusiast market and absolutely killing it, from entry level to all-wheel drive to an affordable rear-wheel drive, up through the Supra, which you guys know I've done track days with that and everything else, and I absolutely love that car too. But today we're going to talk about the 8.6, and we're going to talk about these two specifically, but a little bit about them in general, because like I've been saying, they really do everything well. Like the Supra, but at a better budget. So I'm going to bring in the owner of this one here, which, again, if you guys have been watching, you know I keep complimenting both this one and the previous gen that this owner had, because he really does do it well. And I wish I could say it was all because of me, but it isn't. So he's been doing his thing. I'm going to bring in my nephew that now has the second gen. Come on in here, and we're going to talk about his newest, his second gen. But before this, you actually had the first gen also.
Yeah.
Now the first gen, that was kind of your introduction into like cars and tuning and like that whole kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Because that was one of your first cars.
Yep.
Okay.
My very first car I ever modded and everything like that. So yeah, that car taught me everything.
Okay. So he started off with the first gen, and that one was an FRS, or?
Yes, it was a 2015 FRS, so the pre-facelift.
Pre-facelift. Okay. So that was like the first gen.
Yeah, that was like the first batch, and then you got the post facelift 8.6, and then the BRZs obviously.
Make sure I hold it up.
Oh.
Yeah, no, if you way out here,
Oh.
we can't hear you.
Okay.
But anyways, but no, so, and then, now, your style, okay, and it was on the previous one, it is on this, you like more of a stance car.
Yeah. So, when I had the FRS, I didn't really know what style I was going for. I was so new to the platform. I kind of just threw myself in, and I was just experimenting on what I could do. So, if y'all know, my very first setup on the FRS, I had 255s on some chrome wheels and like -6. It was all over the place. So,
Wait, you were -6?
yes, I was -6 all around with 255 tires. It was a crazy sight to see.
And now on the first one, here, come a little closer to the headlight, yeah, just so we don't lose you in frame. But so on the first one, I mean, you literally were tucking rim on that car.
Yeah, so it was like a process. So I think on that car I had a combined total of 4 sets of wheels. I would say it wasn't until I got to my second set of wheels is when I really started to lower it. So first set of wheels, I was 255, monster trucking -6 all around. My second set was the white TEs. Then I started getting more knowledge of what tire size I should be getting, what's most optimal for, you know, the rubbing and like the clearance you would get. Third set of wheels was my my gunmetal TEs. Then I was like, okay, I know what I'm doing. Let's just dial it down a little bit, because when I first started stance, I was about -8 all around. -8 all around, and then I went to -10 all around, and then that was when I started running into issues, and I was like, you know what, this is not really the best, you know, setup for, because that car was my daily driver. So I was like, dude, I was breaking things all the time. I was always getting stuck on some driveway that probably wasn't even that steep to most cars.
So your daily driver, okay, was on a negative what?
-10.
Okay, -10, which is crazy, but but stance guys, I understand. Okay, I do it. It looks amazing. Okay, so you're tucking wheel. You're on a -10. You've blown out how many front lips at that point?
I think about 6 front lips. Yeah.
Okay, so hey, that's stance life. That's stance, and I give it to you guys that love to run a stanced car, because I don't know how you do it that low. Like you said, running 6 different lips, just punishing the lips on those cars.
Yeah.
Every driveway, every dip on the highway, like everything.
Yeah.
Everything. So you ran full hardcore stance on that car.
Yeah.
No bags.
No bags.
So like
No
static
bags.
life. Static life through everything.
Yep.
Now, you went through 4 sets of wheels, 2 sets of TEs.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
So I have to say, I did like the TEs on the car, both sets.
Yes.
Both sets.
Yes, I love them too.
But you decided to step away and go with a little bit more personality. Because the TEs are clean. The TEs, again, we have this argument all the time. TEs look good on every car. I don't care what anybody says. Throw a TE on whatever, and it looks great. So, were these the wheels that were on the last car?
Yes. So these were the last set of wheels on the FRS. These are my SSR Minervas. 3Ps came from SSR. They're discontinued in the 18-inch faces, and these are 18-inch faces. So they're pretty hard to come by.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. I you know, if you put in the work and everything else, and you're like, look, I really want something special. I want something basically different than everybody else is going to have.
100%.
You know, the SSRs as a brand for the wheels they make and everything else, always beautiful. Yeah. Always. And I wish I was the one that could take credit for these wheels, but that was all him. And really, they're gorgeous wheels. Now, so we moved away from the other car. I know the prime reason, okay? The prime reason, first car, hey, no disrespect or anything else, but but it happens a lot. Your first car, a lot of times, is not the perfect car. And in his case, the first one was an automatic. Yeah. I know. It was an automatic. I know. But again, as your first car and everything else, you're like, okay, cool. And now that you're in it, you're like, nah, I need a manual.
Exactly. 100%.
So that's another argument. Is an automatic a real driver's car or not? We got the his and hers, and the hers is a driver's car. Okay, the hers is a driver's car. All right, that right there is a manual GR. Okay, on what are we on some 57s, on some BC, the ultra lows, the extreme lows.
Yep.
And a nice, beautiful sounding Gretty exhaust. Like that's it right there. You want to drive something day to day, not have any headaches or issues, and not get bothered by the cops in Cali. Okay, that's a highly important thing for all of us. There's nothing worse than getting a ref ticket, having to put your stuff all the way back to stock.
Oh, trust
take
me.
it. Yeah,
I know a lot about that.
Trust me. Yeah. So, and that's one of the things we deal with out here in Cali. But to go through this a little bit, what suspension are you running?
So I'm running BC's Extreme Lows.
Okay.
Just like my girl. We got front lower control arms, and then we're running full form top hats in the front. The special thing about full form top hats is that your standard top hat, it would only give you about -3 or so maxed out. And so my boy Jaron, he created his own little business called Full Form.
Oh, nice.
And he's created top hats and lower mounts that give you huge amounts of camber, and you're still able to keep your stock, stock camber pretty much with the top hat.
Okay.
So this top hat, when you get them, it ranges from like your factory to positive to all the way to -8. So.
Oh wow, that's a huge.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
Long story short, I got myself a set, I maxed it out, and now we're at -8 in the front with just top hats. I didn't even need my front lowers.
But that's actually really impressive. So you didn't have to run any roll center adapters, anything else on the bottom.
Nope.
That's actually super simple.
No, it is. It keeps it really simple, and and it's better for your suspension geometry as well.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that's really impressive. So you. For this, you're not in like a Wise Tech like angle kit or anything crazy like that.
Nope, nothing crazy. Just because I am just fairly new to drifting. I do want to learn on stock angle before I go crazy on like, let's say 60 degrees of angle. I feel like, and plus it's my daily. I feel like I'm gonna just be understeering everywhere I go.
Yeah,
so
it still needs to be drivable for you.
It still needs to be drivable, right? So I know plenty of guys running stock angle, or maybe just like shaved knuckles and just like a tiny bit of angle. But I definitely want to learn on stock angle before I do anything crazy. Yeah,
that's cool. So that moves us on to what you're trying to do with the car.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
All right. So your style, you got the stance life.
Yeah.
Okay. This one isn't as extreme as your last one.
Yeah.
We can still see a little bit of the rim. Okay. So this one isn't quite as extreme as the last one, but your goal with this car is really to kind of take it out and start learning how to drift and kind of doing that side of things.
Yep. 100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're not a circuit guy, not a straight line.
No, definitely not with this guy.
No.
Definitely not with this guy. Yeah.
But that's cool. Okay, so your direction for this is going to be drift,
100%.
and that's what I find a lot of the newer generation, not all of them again, but a lot of the newer generation, when they want to start going to the track, instead of just doing like circuit stuff and going down a button willow or something like that and going as fast as they can, a lot of them start messing around and swinging their car.
Yeah.
So I think, not that I condone it, but I think a lot of that starts with, a lot of the guys going out in the middle of the night, you know, and goofing off with their friends in some little industrial park.
Yep.
And they start hanging it out and everything else. And they're like, hey, you know what? This is kind of fun doing figure eights or, you know, doing donuts or something like that. And then it progresses like anything else because you get caught or you get chased away enough times. And it's like, oh, well, let me go out. Luckily for us in Cali, we got a bunch of places to go.
Bunch of industrial buildings.
Yeah. I mean, no, tracks too.
Tracks.
Yes. Take it to, track. So, but like we have Apple Valley and, you know, places like that, which I think they're what, like $80 to go out on the track or something. Like that's super cheap.
Yeah.
Like for a track session, that's great. Now, well, I was going to say long-term goals for this, but actually I want to talk about inside first. So you got a set of BRZ seats in here.
Correct.
But they're not just BRZ seats, right?
No, they're just, I mean, yes, but no.
But I mean, like, are these the same ones that were in the, or have you switched BRZ seats? Because you had a different set.
Okay, so I had Recaros in the FRS.
Oh, you had Recaros in it.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
okay.
I had one singular driver's side Recaro in the FRS, and then when I got the BRZ, I was like, dude, I really want to switch it up, make it somewhat different, because as you know, like suspension, exhaust, it's all compatible with the first and second gen. So I really wanted to make this car as different as possible as I could from my first gen FRS. So I was exploring, trying to get inspiration pretty much. And long story short, I saw it was this S15, it was silver, and he had red BRZ seats in his car, and I was like, damn, that looks so good. So I was like, I have to do it. So an opportunity presented itself to me. My friend Garen, shout out Garen, he was pretty much parting out his car because he wanted a whole new revamp, respraying the car and everything, and the new color just didn't really match with the red seats. So I was like, he gave me a fire deal, and I was like, you know what, let's do it. So I bought the seats off him, threw it on like probably 2 weeks of ownership of the car. Super silly thing of me to do. I don't know why, but yeah, these are I got my Zeta 3 with the silver sparkle back, and I got my Vios 3. Correct me if it's not Vios. I've been pronouncing it Vios.
I'm good with that.
Vios
I'm good
3,
with that.
Yeah, my Vios 3. But yeah, I got matching BRZ seats, red BRZ seats with sparkle back for the both driver and passenger.
They look good. I really like, because everything else in the interior is dark.
Yeah.
So that's your pop.
Yeah.
You know, that's your pop, and they look really good. No harnesses yet?
No harnesses yet.
No harnesses yet?
Everyone I talk to is like, don't daily drive harnesses.
It's hard to daily drive a harness. And a lot, and I'm one included in this, was even when I had harnesses, I still had the stock seatbelts, and I would 9 times out of 10 I would just roll the harnesses away from me and just throw the stock seatbelt on, because it's so much more comfortable for a daily drive, where, you know, once you're like cinched in and the harnesses do their job. That's what you're supposed to do with a race harness. But yeah, like every other time, it's so much better just to have them out of the way. But if you're going to start doing a lot more swinging it and spending some more time on the track, you're definitely going to have to go to harnesses.
Yeah, I thought about doing that thing you said, just having both and keeping the functionality of the stock seatbelt. And then just like whenever I don't want it, I just throw it to the side, put my stock seatbelt back on. Yeah. So
it makes it so much easier.
Yeah, and then like when I go to the track, I just clip on the harness and we're good to go. Wow.
So now you've got what lip, side skirts, what are you running for your lowers on this?
Like my body kit?
Yeah, on the body kit.
Okay, so I'm running I believe that's Icon Motorsports front lip. I can't confirm just because I bought it off OfferUp for $50. So.
Oh, that's the best.
Yes, the best.
Hey, there's nothing better than OfferUp when you're like, hey, you know.
Yeah, right. And then you got your TRD side skirts. These are very well known in the second gen like platform. It's just it's hard to hate them. It's very popular, but it's hard to hate them because they just look so good. You know?
And they're TRDs, so that means they fit.
Yeah.
And you don't have any problems. You're like,
Exactly.
hey, it's a TRD setup. Cool. Like there's nothing to worry about.
Exactly.
Technically, if you were ever to damage them or anything else, they're TRDs, so it's literally just a part number.
Exactly.
And you're like, cool. Hey, I need another set.
Exactly.
You know,
exactly.
and when you run this low life that you know, the static life that you run, that's how it goes.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you tear them up, everything else, like, it's bad to say, but a lot of times when it starts life like this, by the end of the first, second day, the end of the first week, you've kind of already messed something up, or you've already scratched something, or you already dented something. Like, you know, that's
it's inevitable, you know.
It is.
If you drive your car, rocks are bound to hit it. It's inconvenient stuff, like maybe you hit a tire on the road. It's inevitable, you know. Just get what you want, you know?
Yeah.
And just drive your car.
That's it. And then, like honestly, on any project, on anything else, you know, there's always the popular stuff, you know, and I mess around and we talk about TEs and everything else, and like I said, they look great on everything. If that's the wheel you want, then put it on your car.
Exactly.
100%.
Exactly.
If you have some random wheel that either one, somebody says will never fit the car, or two, you know, nobody likes except for you, who cares?
Yeah.
Like, throw that on the car, figure out how to make it fit, rebarrel it if it's something that you can rebarrel.
Yep.
You know, and then what happens is you throw it on your car, you start going around, whether or not it's for yourself or you take it to meets or something else, and everybody starts looking at it and going, wait, I've never seen those wheels on that car. Wait, where are those wheels from?
Right.
Wait, and then you end up with something that's one of a kind that may have been hated on at the beginning.
Yeah.
And then everybody kind of looks at it later on and they're like, wait,
it looks good.
That actually looks really good.
I 100% agree. I feel like always branch off and try to experiment to do your own thing.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with being safe and just throwing a set of T's on the car. In my opinion, I think if you were to be unique, you could always make something look good if it's done right, if that makes sense. Like, let's say
it does.
You put on something someone hates or like the community like frowns upon. Honestly, if you can make it look good, like you can make it look good. Like, I remember when I first got my car, I did a little teaser and I was like, should I get this car? And it was like this blue BRZ, and everyone was like, no, do not get a BRZ GR front end all the way. It looks 100% better. And then I did my thing with this car, and everyone's like, damn, I really like that. Like, like honestly, you probably changed the whole front end like debate for me, and I'm just like don't be scared to just branch out and do your own thing. Try to be unique, but at the same time, it's like, don't try to overdo it, you know? Don't try to like do too much, if that's trying to put it in the better words.
Come closer. Yeah. So no, I completely agree with that. And like one of the fun things is the individuality. Okay, and like you said, making it your own.
Yeah.
And that's I've been out and we've you know we go to meets, we go everywhere else, we see all different types of cars, and I mean every now and then I'll see a car that I swore that I hated on. Okay, like it is what it is. Like it could be like a first gen Prius or something, you know, and it's like, oh, they're horrible.
Yeah.
But then somebody takes the time and effort to put the right set of wheels on it, to put the right, you know, to have the right ride height or something else on it. And I'm like, you know what, even if it's not my liking of car, you know, even in the community, everybody else, the people that aren't haters and actual enthusiasts, they'll still look at it. It may not be their car, but you know, that they like, but they'll go, you know what, okay, cool. Like, I've never seen one done that way. I've never seen one lowered on a set of wheels, whatever it happens to be. And again, if it's done clean and it's done the right way, like, own it.
No, 100%. Like kind of backtracking on that, a real car enthusiast will recognize game when they see game, and like just to go more in depth, like just like what you said, like if you hated a first gen Prius, but you know one pulls up, it's got T's on it, you know, it's got like a Japan body kit on it, like, and it looks good, like you can't really hate on it.
Yeah, you're gonna be like, I don't like the Prius, but man, that one looks good. Right? Yeah, that one, like I wouldn't own one. Well, maybe, you know, maybe now.
Right?
Hey, that new Prius. I'm sorry, but that new Prius looks good.
It looks good.
Oh man, slammed out on a set of wheels with a little body kit.
100%.
I mean, I was seeing those in Japan, and as much as it's really weird to say that like the Prius looks good, like for a daily, lowered, you know, with a little kit on it and some like. I mean,
you can't go wrong with a daily that gets amazing gas mileage and it looks good. Like, you really can't go wrong with that. So,
So now, like I was saying about I guess both the BRZ and the you know the GR, the 86. On your side of things, do you think the car is capable of really doing anything? Is there anything that like, I don't know, maybe like straight line 1,000 horsepower? No, but like everything else it seems to do really, really well.
Yeah, so actually, the first gen was notorious for being really poor for boosts. Like if you wanted to force induction your car, you'd only be making about like 400 max, and even 400 max is pushing it.
Yeah.
Obviously it varies on the kit you run, blah blah blah. But honestly, the FA24, there's this guy out there, K24 Austin. He's almost 700, 600 real horsepower.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's absolutely
it's
nuts.
Like the difference between the motors is insane, but just based off him boosting his car and almost 600 stock internals, it's like this car is probably capable of so much more than we know. You know?
Wow.
Like
that's crazy. And that's stock internals? That's not
internals.
No.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So
correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it's stock internals.
I mean, they'll correct us. So, you know, those comments will just be banging away.
Yeah.
But so here's one of the other things, and one of the things I actually really like about, I'm going to call it your community at this point, is your group as a whole, because there's a lot of you guys that hang out, okay? There's a whole bunch of you guys. You guys roll out like not like a gang, but like a gang, okay? Like a really big car club. You really are. You're a really big car club that comes out.
Yeah.
One of the things that I really like about the car club and the car community, and I guess this side of like the 86 group, is every single one of them that comes out is different. And 100%. That's what I think one of the biggest advantages of this brand and this car is. Literally everybody that comes out, and I see when you guys roll up, you know, you have a couple stance, but they're done different. You have a couple street cars, but they're done different. They each have a different set of wheels. They each have a different body kit. They each look different. They each have their own personality. You've got, I don't know how many guys that are race prepped, you know, street race prepped. I mean, you've got what? Voltex, you know, Advans, like the full setup, you know, and I think that's one of the biggest advantages of this car.
Oh yeah, this first generation, second generation, just both platforms have so much aftermarket support. It's crazy. Like it would be like impossible to hear someone say, "Oh, I don't know what to do with my car." It's like
no, there's
so
no way.
Much.
There's no way.
Like
now, we're gonna throw this in here, and you guys are gonna start commenting about this too. Okay. I believe, especially this second gen, the first gen a little bit, but I really believe this second gen is going to be a classic. Okay, this is going to be a car that over the next 5, 10, 15 years, okay, like we look at the older, like Hondas, like the EGs, the EKs, even the older like CRXs. Now those are a little older, but what I'm getting at is I really feel like, especially the second gen, because they kind of hashed out the things on the first gen and everything else, but the second gen, I really believe is going to be that classic car that never goes away. It's always going to be affordable. It's, you know, as it's gonna, I think it's gonna be one of those cult classic cars. So you guys drop that, let me know what you think about that. Do you think that, especially the second gen 8.6, do you think this is gonna turn into one of those cult classic cars that literally never goes away? And that no matter what generation gets into it, you know, it'll just continue and continue, and it's never gonna go away. Which honestly, I believe with this is a perfect thing. This is going to be something. This is, in my opinion. You guys, go ahead. Let's talk about this. But in my opinion, I really think that this car is still going to be around 20 years from now. Okay, whether or not it's got 6 different types of swaps that they put in it. Yeah. You know, I'm sure it'll just end up K-swapped like everything else. Okay. Yeah. No, I mean, they already are. But but I really think that Toyota, even with their collab, but I usually just reference it as Toyota, that I really believe that they hit the mark so perfect with this car, that the same way we look at the old school Hachiroku, and I know the old school guys are going to get me on this, but I really believe that, you know, 15, 20 years from now, we're going to look at this car just like we look at the old 8.6s. Right.
No, I 100% agree. And I think I would say differently if they didn't correct everything that was wrong with the first gen, but literally the second gens are literally the perfect first gen. Like
yes. If they did this on the first gen, like it would just...
The first gen would just be the ideal, most perfect car, but literally, I mean, besides like that oil RTV issue, I mean, like that could be easily fixed.
That's a thing. That's one of those. The oil RTV. You gotta look that up for the oil pan. But you guys, I'm sure if you guys have followed along on the cars and everything else, you've already seen all of that. Yeah. And that is something in the background. I guarantee that they've already corrected and
100%,
you know
100%.
Fired that guy that was doing it and hired a new guy and did their training. But I agree that besides that, but. Again, all manufacturers all seem to have this weird little hitch of something that happens with their car. Something. They correct it and it moves forward. But I really think that this is going to continue on and be one of those classic cars.
100%. Like this chassis is great. Like no complaints at all.
And it does everything.
It does everything, and you can do everything with it.
Yeah.
It's perfect. Man.
Now the question is, in a few years, when we'll say you're done with this chassis, or do you think you'll ever be done with this chassis?
Right.
Would you move up to the Supra? Or does it have you?
I don't think the Supra has me, just because my thing is I'm primarily over coupes. I'm pretty much done with the two-door coupes. I'm done. I want a sedan. I want a sedan.
Okay, so this one's going to turn into your drift car and your fun car.
Right.
And then you want a sedan.
I want a sedan.
I gotta ask. All right, before we close out, I'm gonna ask what's on his bucket list for sedans, and then we're gonna close it out. But I want to hear this first. Go ahead.
So, young guy over here. I really either want an F80 M3 or E90 M3. My buddy just picked up E92 M3. Something about that V8, man. Just gets me. And they make one for the sedans.
I can't say no to either. Okay. so the old V8s sound amazing. They sound amazing. We can't. All right, we're going to talk about the BMW thing offline, okay? Because if I get into the BMW thing right now with you guys, we literally will extend this video past an hour. You guys will start talking and be like, I can't believe you ran another video that was an hour long. All you guys did was talk about nothing, you know, but man, both of those cars.
Great cars.
So I'm a huge fan of the new G80s, okay? It didn't take me very long to get over the whole front grille thing and everything else, okay? Right. I've talked about that before, going through the meets and everything else. The G80s, they tune really well. Whether or not you want a rear-wheel drive or an X-Drive, I'm sorry, as much fun as a rear-wheel drive is, I would take that X-Drive all day because that car launches, that car takes off,
100%.
and it's fast. It's fast. Okay, not that you can in California, but downpipe tune, E-blend on that, that's all you need.
Easy 800.
That is all you need. The car runs it all day. The cars are super fast, okay? Now, the older V8s, if you can get one that's in really good shape, they're amazing. Okay, they drive amazing. They feel amazing.
100%.
They are super expensive to maintain. Okay? They are super, you know, you're like, oh, cool, it's time to do rod bearings and throttle actuators again. How much is that? Oh, okay, cool. Like you're doing rod bearings like you do oil changes on that car, okay? So that's one of the only downsides, but the car does sound amazing. It drives amazing. So I do agree with that. I do. All right, so we're gonna close it out. You guys, as always, I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Thank you again for all the support. Thank you for all the subscribers and everything else. We're up over 5K views. We're continuing to grow. If you guys haven't seen, I put a little hint on that wekfest video at the very end of it. We got big moves happening, so you guys stay tuned for that. We're gonna do that, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Drop those comments, let us know what you think, and we're gonna get out of here for now. All right, we'll see you guys at the next one. Thanks.